games had. If anyone here ever played the Destiny back on like
Oh
the original
god,
one.
yeah.
I beta tested for that.
Really?
Oh,
That's
God.
badass.
That's epic, but oh my god, like what was that like before everything?
Weird.
What were the classes called at the time? Because I know they had different names.
The classes were called the same thing. It was just that speeder bikes didn't exist. You had to walk everywhere. The Taken King didn't exist yet. Let's see. Exotics didn't exist yet.
I'm just throwing this out here. The game was better without the DLC.
Agreed.
Which DLC specifically?
The first one.
Okay, yes,
that
100% agree.
ruined the entire fucking game.
Yeah, House of Wolves was probably the biggest flop I've ever seen for any DLC for a game at the time.
The only thing I appreciated was the Young Wolf's howl. The sword.
I remember, and that was Iron Lords.
Fucking amazing for early game.
It was fun.
I just think that they ruined it because it created such a massive divide between the free-to-play players and then the players that bought the DLCs. Like, it gave it a hardcore pay-to-win, especially with the needle gun that was so popular in PvP.
Oh, the God damn it, what is it? The Fallen's weapon. When they added those. Oh god, like
I had a max level Void Warlock. I already had about a good 6,000 kills in PvP mode. It was something.
Wow. Well, okay, so that I'm a date myself, kinda. I'm not that much older than you guys, not really, but I remember playing a game called Unreal Tournaments. And no one's
My
heard
mother
of this
helped
thing.
make that.
I know what game it is.
My mother helped create the Unreal Engine.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I'm meeting some really interesting people today.
So,
thank you for that.
Like back in the day, I was playing Guild Wars. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is.
I know what it is.
That is.
I never touched it, but I know what it is.
It was so amazing. Guild Wars is so much better than fucking World of
running out of
Warcraft.
time. How close are you to the
Sounds
facility?
better in general. I could never understand the World of Warcraft craze.
Guild Wars was so simple, but also very refined in their systems.
It kind of reminds me of like the original Albion Online or whatever it was called, the one massive open world game where they actually had like in-game markets and stuff that players could like buy stuff with or use real cash for.
Work of a lictor. Sergeant Gadriel to Resilient.
So it reminds me of that stuff and how people have tried to bring that back with modern games and how it's just never worked.
Or
honestly,
sorry, what?
No, you go.
But so like it's almost like the people who keep trying to recreate the old school City of Heroes and City of Villains.
Yeah.
Don't know if any of you guys played that game, but it was a masterpiece back in 2013.
That was the not Marv, DC one, right?
No, it was before DC Universe.
Okay.
I played DC Universe.
I played DC Universe.
It was okay in the beginning.
See, I never
also played DC Universe Online.
I had never gotten into those games when they had first started out. So I'm not super old. But when I was gaming, I didn't have internet. growing up, so the games I started on were like Quake, Unreal Tournaments, the original Doom, and stuff like that.
My mother helped make Quake.
Right on. Quake was a great game series.
It was one of the greatest, in my opinion, and the fact that they failed endlessly to bring it back is both extremely disappointing and kind of nice because I don't want to see them turn it into slop.
Yeah.
Because Quake Champions, while I play it every now and again, it's...
It's a shell of its former self.
Yeah. I just wish the servers for Quake Arena were still running.
They need to bring back a Quake single player game like how it was in I think Quake 3. I think it was Quake 3 that was the single player one.
Quake 3 Arena was the one where they actually had the introduction to the most popular version of their multiplayer, because the way it had started out was the campaign was you going through a galactic arena where you were caught by the Collector, who went through the, I guess, Bethesda universe of like characters. That's why Doom Guy, the space, what's his name, the yellow guy you play in the first Quake game, because it was Quake 1 and 2 that had the actual campaigns, while Quake 3 Arena had a sort of tagged on one where they had just what's the word I'm looking for? I'm bad with words.
Am I thinking of Quake 4 then? Because I remember in the game, once you get to a certain extent, you get captured by and get turned into one of the creatures. But
so yes, that is Quake 4.
Okay.
Quake 4 is where the Strybog kidnap you because you're trying to invade their home world and like erase them from destroying humanity because they're the bio-organic waste.
That was my favorite Quake game.
It was at this moment
that
he
one
knew.
was so popular at the time because it took the recipe that made Battlefield good and was somehow able to tie it into Quake. Because it was essentially just Battlefield, but with a Quake skin. But so much more fun. I never actually played that one. I never had a computer at the time that could.
Hold on. Thanks for the follow. May or may not be playing the Warhammer game in live stream.
It's fine. You do what you gotta do, man.
Okay, controversial topic.
Hit me.
StarCraft 2, thoughts?
Never played it.
Never played it.
Blasphemous!
I probably have it.
I knew more about Warhammer before I knew anything about StarCraft, sadly.
Funnily enough, they're based on the same universe.
What?
I know. I know that now.
Interesting.
I think StarCraft is before Warhammer 40K started.
Nope, same time.
Wow.
Really?
Warhammer started in '87.
Let me mansplain. Wizards of the Coast and Games Workshop were both trying to create the same universe, but they had a disagreement about it, and Wizards of the Coast said, "Fuck you, I'm doing it my way," thus StarCraft.
Interesting.
Okay.
That kind of makes sense, honestly.
Yeah.
Knowing how Wizards of the Coast and Games Workshop are together, I can see them trying to like tear each other apart.
Also,
Yo!
I like the way we just drifted off, hoping
Restocking.
his D&D character.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was me. I started tangents. My bad.
Sorry about that, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. You needed to make a D&D character. Fuck.
I like the way I'm the only one that fucking had just realized it before we drifted off
Snipers.
drifted
No,
off by
I'm-
this.
I'm playing with Chippy right now, and I'm trying not to be a bad teammate. So when you sent me the stuff for my character, like the stat sheet,
Reload.
I had been like, cool, I'll look at that after the match. Oh no, a match started. Let's just talk. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
That's perfectly fine. Okay. So you're gonna start as a basic Astartes, with flame-based weaponry because salamanders, and then you're gonna have like a level of artificer instead of some barbarian.
Okay. And hey, actually that kind of works because having a level in our artificer, because artificers do unlock fireball at some point, right?
Resupply.
At some point, yes.
It works for the salamanders. Higher.
The sniper fucking bitch just launched me off a fucking ledge.
Now I'm gonna make sure people know this is going to be a campaign based on 40k, not 30k or Sigmar.
Perfectly fine. I understand. I know more about 40k than I do 30.
I know. We're good.
I know all of it, so ha.
That's why you're the DM.
Another one dead.
Oh man,
You're
you guys
the-
will be so surprised when you finally figure out where the fucking Blood Ravens come from. I'm so excited.
I'm interested.
I can hear it. I can hear the Tony. I'm extremely excited.
I've had
Campaign.
but I have to.
Through this bunker.
Oh,
by the entrance.
fuck yeah.
Action surge, fighting style defense, Spellmaster,
Guess who just got a heavy bolter?
for
You.
campaign or PvP?
A campaign.
Oh, you're going Devastator Salamander. I can do that. I have the stats for a Devastator.
Okay, could you share those?
Yeah. Let me get you the stats for and Devastator.
It sounds close. Assist them. Ready those shots. The Emperor protects.
All right. And Devastator right there. They are foaming.
Okay.
Yep.
I can see salamanders having good charisma.
Is it 3 sauce packets, Mom? Is it 3 sauce packets per guy? Okay.
Which is kind of funny.
Well, by the way, yeah, no, that's a regular Ultramarine Devastator. We're gonna change a little bit for your Salamander.
Ah, okay.
They never learn.
Mother, I could get you your Sig bar, but I'd need to know where. Located.
Too slow. The Cadians did themselves proud. They died honorably. Come. Our own duty is not
Okay.
yet done.
So there you go. There's there's an Astartes Devastator right there. What do you think?
I do like the stats, and it again. my lack of knowledge here will shine through more than anything. I don't think I would change anything unless it explicitly is necessary for my character to work to fit his class as or
Okay.
his faction as a
So
salamander.
remember, you are starting Loyalist. You will eventually be going Nurgle. So you are eventually going to have to change a few things, but until then, not necessarily.
Wait, so you guys
So
are
the
going
only difference is
Nurgle?
that you'll have probably a flame-based heavy weapon instead of a ballistic-based heavy
It is
weapon.
here. By what evidence? Something
Okay.
is off.
That's
Watch your
That's
backs.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna be going Nurgle.
I will be specifically.
Okay.
so his exact description of it was,
Weapons
"I
ready.
would like to be a salamander,"
Taste
and I
death.
said, "Okay, well, unfortunately, everybody's going chaos, so we're gonna have your character have an existential crisis and turn chaos eventually." And he said, "I want to be a stubborn bastard," and I said, "Okay, you're playing Nurgle."
Makes
So,
sense.
another thing about that is the reason why we had started with the stubborn bastard part is I had originally thought of going Iron Lord as, one of the most stubborn and petulant bastards there is in the 40k universe. Seeing as if they can't win, no one can.
Well,
But-
yeah, but I mean, you're going from green to green, so I don't see a problem.
No, I don't either. So.
But I'm going to be Zeke, but that is wearing black and red armor.
Yeah, I would have no fucking idea what kind of chaos thing to go into. I do not know the universe that well. I know that there's Necrons, there's Nurgle, and there's Orcs. That's all I know. Oh, and the Xenos, of course.
Well,
Heretic!
Xenos.
Wait, is it,
Oh, this is fucking Alien vs Predator shit. He's invisible. What the
Yeah,
here's
fuck?
the,
Yeah, you just found your first Scout Marine. Congratulations.
okay, here's the 4 chaos gods you can probably choose. If you have a question of one of the chaos gods, you probably get your interest. I'll let you know what they do or what they are. Zinc, Nurgle, Corn, and Fernet.
Reloading weapon.
Don't forget there's a fifth one.
That's the tech,
Uh,
right? The one that's slightly known.
Actually, little known.
Little known.
There is a fifth Chaos God currently in the making. And it is the Chaos God of, I think it's like, yes, I can check his water mother. Anyway, it's the Chaos God of, I think, Undeath or something? It's weird.
The Undying.
Yeah, it's like the Chaos God of Forgetfulness or Undying. Or...
Keep Forgotten. Or something.
It starts with like M. I forget.
Need to reload.
Atrocity or something.
Anyway, yeah, there is technically a fifth Chaos God. There's just nobody knows about him yet. Well, except for Magnus the Red.
Watch your flanks.
Oh my god, those stun grenades are getting annoying.
Ah, Malice. It's the Chaos God of Malice. There's hatred and then there's malice.
What's his good aspect going to be? Because every Chaos
So,
God
you know
has some
how-
half that's good.
Okay, hold on. You know how the Emperor's grand plan for destroying the Chaos Gods is to just wipe them from existence, right? Basically, if he were to wipe out the Chaos Gods from existence, he'd be killing himself as well and creating a new god on top of that. And that god is the Chaos God I'm talking about, which would be Malice.
So that was his grand plan from the beginning?
No. Malice is his thing. I don't know his name.
Okay.
It's like while Korn experiences hatred, Korn isn't necessarily evil. This is quite clearly a chaos god of evil.
Huh.
And thankfully, the chaos is trying to stop the Imperium from destroying them, so that one chaos god doesn't have a chance of making another chaos god. Thankfully.
Okay, so Bjorn, because you know more about the lore than I do. Let me just try to piece some of this together.
Go ahead, pick the brain.
I'll hit with my limited knowledge first. So what I know is the Emperor set out to unify all of humanity against chaos, like everything, because he wanted to have no religion or anything, because he was an extraordinarily xenophobic individual.
God
Wrong.
damn.
Already
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
The reason why the Emperor seeks to exterminate the Chaos Gods is because 10,000 years ago, in 30k, not 40k, the Emperor was trying to create something called the Webway.
Yes, that I know. That I know.
Now, Magnus the Red,
Yeah.
formerly the the Emperor's son, Magnus.
Yeah. So okay. So
Hold on, let me finish. Tried to warn him that creating the Webway would create a pocket full of demons of the work in said Webway. Now, in attempting to warn his father, he accidentally broke the wall of the Webway and sent the demons right smack dab into Holy Terra. The reason why the Emperor seeks to exterminate the Chaos Gods is because he thinks that's the source of where demons come from.
okay.
There you go.
So what I know, and again, this is superficial information. It's all surface level from what I've learned over time. I had originally heard that Biggie didn't like religion because he wanted humanity to prosper under its own strength and might. It didn't have to rely on the power of God, but themselves.
So, his dislike for religion actually has nothing to do with the other Chaos Gods. It is purely the fact that he did not want to be worshipped himself.
Right. So okay. So I guess I phrased that wrong. His goal was to prevent worship of the gods by making it so they don't have to rely on it. That's why he didn't hate them or anything. He just didn't want them to interfere. And if people don't know about him or anything like that, they can't worship him, despite them being aspects of reality.
Correct, good sir.
So I had phrased it wrong. I apologize.
And here's the thing: there's still people in the loyal side still praise on.
Now, here's a pop quiz for those of you here. Where did the Emperor of Mankind himself originate from?
Okay, I've heard several theories about that I don't know or believe in. one of them, he's 12 shamans in a trench coat, i.e. they gave up their lives to create him, and he's
Okay,
existed
so
since
that's
the beginning.
wrong. That is a wrong one.
Yeah, I figured that one was wrong because that just sounds crazy for 40k.
So here's the factual and actual answer to that question. The Emperor of Mankind himself came from beings called the Great Old Ones.
Munitions secured.
So they did make him?
No,
Because I know about the old ones and their combat with the Necron.
you're mistaking the shamans for the Great Old Ones. Two very different beings.
No. So the War of Heaven, which was with the Necrons and the Great Ones. I know about that. How the the Great Ones had created the beings in the universe, such as the Eldar, the Orcs, the Necrontyr, and humanity alongside of it. And what I had heard was the shamans were psychers who had wanted to give humanity a chance, so they had sent their consciousness together to create the Emperor. That's what I had heard, which I thought didn't sound right. So you're saying the old ones themselves had actually had a hand in creating the Emperor?
Indirectly, yes.
Okay.
So,
That makes more sense, so.
here's what happened. The Eldar were once called the Eldari with an I. And they had a bit of a fucking frenzy, literally. And it got so bad that eventually the Great Old Ones had to put a stop to it by inventing something called a scourge, known as the Necrontyr. Now, when the Necrontyr tried to kill the Eldari, they kind of warped the fuck off said planet. And Great Old Ones, not wanting that planet to no longer be of use, created the Orcs to try and combat the Necrontyr because the Necrontyr were becoming too powerful.
Okay.
That's ones were made.
Now, the Orcs were actually called Gorks with a G.
Yes, I know about that part.
When the Eldari figured out that the Old Ones sent the Necrontyr to attempt to kill them, they retaliated and killed all but a very few amount of those said Great Old Ones. And from the warp energy and psychic matter of said deceased Great Old Ones, bam, Emperor of Mankind.
Okay, that
I finally
actually
fucking
makes a lot
killed
more
it.
sense for how they have the power they have. So, okay, let me try to see another thing that I guess this isn't accurate for the timeline, but this is what I know. The Eldari and the Gorks were created both to combat not the Necrontyr, but the Necrons who came after them because of the Catan turning them into the biotransference, which made them into the Terminator machines that they are. That's the lore I know. And that's wrong?
While yes, that adaptation of Necron trying to become more powerful by absorbing the Great Old Ones is in fact factual, that did not happen until after the Eldari retaliated.
Okay.
Or the lieutenant not with us.
So yes, same timeline. No, not the sequence of events.
Perhaps they faced more than one.
So, a quick off-topic question, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, are Space Marines able to turn into the mechs?
What do you mean?
The Necroids.
No.
So
Necrons are okay. Hold on. Necrons are floating gases that like to eat heat and energy. and all it is they inhabit metal suits. That's it. That's all Necrons are.
Okay. I was
So
wondering,
no
because, like...
Space Marines cannot, in any capacity, become Necrons.
Okay.
Well, so you say that, but remember, the biotransference machine that created the Necrons technically still exists, doesn't it?
Nope, got destroyed.
Okay. Because it was
Okay,
in
well,
the most...
technically, to your credit there, it only got destroyed in the events of 40k, not 30k. So technically, one Space Marine that turned into a Necron could exist. It just would not be called a Space Marine.
Yeah, that much I know as a fact, because they'd essentially just be a really weird Necron created from the existence of a Space Marine.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions about the lore of Warhammer?
Well, I was just assuming that you'd be able to turn into one because you're talking about the Chaos Gods. I'm like, Necron, what do they have a god?
No. Necrontyr nor Necrons have zero relation with any Chaos God entity.
They actually are technically immune to it because they have no soul anymore. Because they had to give up their soul and existence as living beings to become the machines they are.
So the Nurgle turned Space Marines into the bloated messes of plague and dissolence.
Called Poxwalkers.
Yeah. So what are the other Chaos Gods turn Marines into?
So, the answer to that question lies in many parts. Khorne, the forces of Khorne, turn Space Marines into something known as World Eaters, and or heretic Astartes that are hellbent on rage
and destruction. Mostly war, because
I remember watching a story on that, the guy who blocked all of his other senses except for rage.
And that's not by choice, outside of his children.
Now then, for other Chaos Gods that have done similarly, Tzeentch turns Astartes into the Thousand Suns.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, can I say something about some of the Chaos factions? So the Thousand Suns, specifically the first 1,000, who are the followers of Tzeentch, come from Magnus the Red.
Correct.
He had made a, I guess,
made a deal with Tzeentch.
And okay, and this ties back to one of the other pieces of lore you mentioned about when he went into the Webway.
Yes,
that was Tzeentch's plan.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the followers of Tzeentch in the Thousand Suns, at least the original 1,000, they have no physical form as Chaos Space Marines outside of their armor. They are essentially just cosmic dust and powder, giving life to their armor.
Actually wrong.
Oh, really?
There is not cosmic or powder about it. It is energy of the warp that has been compressed down into a dust-like substance.
Okay. So it half wrong, half right.
So Thousand Suns is based off Egyptian. Okay.
Yes.
Nope.
Well, the original 1,000, yes. Persian, Egyptian sort of heritage.
There you go.
The original 1,000 Suns actually came from the location of Persia on Earth.
Okay.
Now, here's the other thing about that. Then there's Slaanesh, who turns Astartes into something called Noise Marines.
For the lore for the noise, they came from the Emperor's children first, Fulgrim's children.
Correct. Now, Noise Marines, their entire dedication is to create noise. And they are eternally suffering by said noise.
Do they suffer from it, or do they find excess in it? Because
they suffer from it.
Okay, because what I remember is they take pleasure in the torment.
There are a select few who are powerful enough to experience it otherwise.
Okay. Because the Noise Marines, with them being the followers of Slanesh, the Demon Prince is right. The Prince of Excess. That's what it is. Sorry.
Nope. No. The God of Excess.
I thought he also went by Prince.
So, you are thinking of the Eldari that created Slanesh as a Chaos God.
Okay. Okay. Yes. The Dark Eldar.
Correct.
Right. Sorry, I'm trying to remember all the names for him. I do know a decent chunk of the lore. Just it's jumbled up for me. So okay, and the Noise Marines are the Slaneshi followers who live in excess and essentially give everything.
And then the Nurgle equivalent is Death Guard.
Yes.
Okay. And then what's the next one?
The fifth Chaos God currently does not have any Astartes.
So we have the Noise Marines, the Thousand Suns, the Nurgles. There's what are the two others?
World Eaters.
World Eaters.
And the
So if we're gonna go off just the factions though, if you want to know the 8 Chaos factions that there are. So the Black Legions, which were the original Lunar Wolves, who were Horus's sons.
We can get to the Horus Heresy later.
Yeah, I'm just saying as the name of who their Primarch is and how they became the Chaos Undivided.
Yep.
So that's one of the factions. So that's one Chaos faction. Then there are Horde faction, which are the World Eaters, who were Angron's sons. There were the Emperor's children, who are Fulgrims, which are Slanesh.
Nope, Fulgrim was not Slanesh originally. Fulgrim, while yes being a Primarch of the Emperor, was originally self-aligned, and then his faction eventually went over to Slanesh.
So I remember not all of the book. I only remember the cool parts of the book, but it was the battle between Fulgrim and Manus. Not Manus.
Correct. Something
Is
like
it
that. I forget his name too.
Yeah, he's the one Primarch that there's like no information on, despite having a role. But I thought the sword he had picked up was tied to Slanesh, which corrupted him into becoming
correct, but that's the reason why he was self-serving, and the rest of his chapter did not move with him until a later date.
Okay.
Is one of the faction called Rubric?
No, Rubric Marines are considered Thousand Suns.
Okay.
And that's Zinch. Still, right?
Correct.
100%. And that is what my character is going down as.
As a Rubric's Marine. That's what you want?
Talons. Ooh.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we need a wizard. No D&D party is set without one.
Well, my character is a wizard and
never split the party.
For
any Rubric Marine is considered a wizard by comparison.
Yeah.
So technically, my character is a collector, but only a collector of Necron's heads.
Trophies.
Which is funny because considering Zinch is the smartest of the Chaos Gods, you'd think he'd know to target the gases instead of the Necron helmets, but we'll work with it.
But I've been going after
my thing about the Necrons, going back to that, is I thought they didn't have any form of form. I thought they were just some form of, like, data that the Catan had, like, transferred, that they had taken their minds and put them in the machines. I didn't realize there was a gaseous form that was a part of the Necrons.
There, in fact, was, and it was weird.
You got pure energy gas.
Because
now, let me break down a few of the other chapters. So, one of Horus's sons is named Abaddon the Despoiler.
Know him.
And Abaddon is the current Primarch, leader of the Chaos Undivided faction. Now, he is quoted to have directly fought the Primarch of the Imperial Fist, Rogal Dorn. Rogal Dorn, being an Imperial Fist, was a complete badass, but also the guy responsible for lodging a piece of an iron halo in the Emperor's eye socket.
Lovely.
Spare me the insults, Magos.
Now, as far as where a bunch of the Space Marines come from, the very first Space Marines were the Dark Angels, and a lot of people don't know that. People think it's the Custodes. That's wrong. It's the Dark Angels because they started as regular Crypt Marines with just heavy armor, no Gene Seed.
So
These were the first custodians of the Terra.
how many custodians are there again? There's only 10,000, right?
1,000. 1,000 Adeptus Custodes. Yep.
Okay. So the Dark Angels, who were the first Space Marines,
Correct.
they weren't Space Marines yet? Were they Thunder Warriors?
So no, they were not considered Space Marines. They were considered what is known as Sons of Caliban. So a long time ago, in said galaxy that is not so far away, the planet Caliban, where Lionel Johnson landed, went into a horrific civil war as a result of the influence of chaos gods that had spawned from the Eldari Falsesh 20,000 years ago. And humans basically fought humans in said civil war due to the influence of the chaos gods, and 10,000 of which were loyalist to the Emperor, and the other 10,000 of which were what is known as the Unforgiven, and or the Fallen. And basically, when Lionel Johnson finally finished settling the Civil War, half of those became the Dark Angels, the loyalist ones, and the other half became the Fallen, trying to escape their brothers. And that's how Dark Angels happened. And they were the first Marines to ever do that because Caliban was the first planet where Falsesh happened.
I just now got a flamer, and I don't know why this is not part of the actual kit that you can use in multiplayer.
Oh, the Pyro Blaster?
Yeah.
That door looks like our
Anyway,
exit. Clear a path through those vermin.
then after the Dark Angels was the Adeptus Custodes. After the Adeptus Custodes was the Ultramarines of Ultramar. After Ultramarines was Salamanders. After Salamanders was Space Wolves. And after Space Wolves was Imperial Fist.
We need instructions.
I still feel like something's not tying in here with the Sons of Caliban thing that you mentioned.
Hit me.
Because I had just listened to some of the Son of the Forest, the stuff about the lion,
Restocking.
and them talking about the Space Marines, because all the original Space Marine factions, like the first founding, the Black Angels and them, they were Space Marines, while the Sons of Caliban on the planet of Caliban, where Lionel Johnson was found, were not Space Marines yet, because there was the first founding.
Here's the thing about that. Okay. The Sons of Caliban weren't considered Space Marines because the term Space Marine didn't exist yet, while they technically were that. They just did not have a gene seed yet.
So, again, that's where my confusion comes about from. I guess just a difference in where I got my lore or something, because all Space Marines, even though they weren't called it at the time, were still created with a gene seed based on the genetic material of their primers.
Okay.
Move to the door.
The thing about that is, the original 10,000 were not created that way, yet still called Space Marines.
So you say that, but
existed. It is confusing. I understand.
No, because I remember that the ones who weren't Space Marines, before the Space Marines, the ones that the Emperor used in the 30,000 millennium to take over Earth and Terra, were the Thunder Warriors. That was the later name given to them to differentiate them between Space Marines and them. They were still genetically modified, but without the gene seed to be super soldiers who sadly had an addiction for murder.
So, before the Sons of Caliban were considered Space Marines, they were known as the Order, and the Order became the first Dark Angels and got a gene seed later.
Yes.
Which is correct, but they were still the first Space Marines.
Okay. What about the army that came with the Emperor when he found Lionel Johnson? That those guys were without the gene seed. So they were the
Thunder Warriors, but the Thunder Warriors are not considered Space Marines.
Yes, that absolutely agree. I know.
Okay.
That much I know. That's why I'm trying to understand the difference between the first Black Angels and
Dark Angels.
Dark Angels. Sorry, I keep mixing it up.
Black Angels are blood angels. Not those are different. Anyway, yes, it's weird. Dark Angels are weird, but they're also really cool. Anyway,
back to the D&D character creation for K.
So, yeah, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, yeah.
I've already helped him. I've already helped him create his character. Eli.
To I remember from the lore is all the foundings, the Space Marine foundings, did exist before their Primarchs were found and created with gene seed.
Correct.
So you're okay. So that is correct.
That is correct. See, the gene seed did get added later, but the original foundlings of the chapters, before they were called Space Marines, acquired the gene seed from the Primarchs at a later time than their birth.
Okay.
Just like every Space Marine, remember, the gene seed does not come from birth, it is added to the Space Marine once they become one.
Another one dead.
It's weird. I know.
Are you guys finished the character creations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All his character is just a basic Astartes. So I just sent him a basic Astartes, and that's what it is.
Chiron, what is our heading? We need to cross this room.
That's all it. Okay, got it. Wait, what is his name anyways? His character name?
Yeah, what's your character's name, Mr. K?
Okay.
Son of Vulpes.
Yeah.
What's your character's name?
They never learn.
I'm sorry if things are coming through bad. I'm lagging really bad here.
Yeah, you are. I still haven't heard his name.
I know that's the issue. I'm trying to fix the lag thing. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Fix it.
Restocking.
I tied him with the...
More scurrying vermin. Stay back, brother.
Also, something might have more Chippy about his face marine stuff. Is he going to start off as a loyalist? That's why I heard from him.
Munitions
Would it be alright if I...
Would it be alright if you what?
But, okay, I think you might need to text it to him in a private chat.
Yeah, just text it to me in DMs what you're trying to ask, because I can't get the full sentence from you, man.
Yeah, while you're trying to fix your problem.
Because...
Now everyone's lagging.
Warhammer Prime.
Oh,
Need ammunition.
I think Bjorn just lagged the fuck out. And he's back.
Testing?
Stabilizing vital. Hold up, right!
Also,
Fresh magazine.
I don't know what you're saying, Eli.
This is Decimus.
I think, his name.
You were trying to figure out his name, I know.
Has the lag cleared? Has the lag cleared up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so... I'm bad at coming up with names.
Excellent work.
And
Move to
lag.
extract.
And lag.
So... Yeah, I saw that.
Alright, well, I have to go to bed, though.
Alright, when you open the
Probably Sunday.
Ah, damn, alright.
Later in the afternoon.
Target destroyed.
Sunday, Saturday, late afternoon, got it.
Yeah, Sunday, though.
Alright, Sunday, got it.
Okay. Alright, bye.
See you later.
Inceptor armor with jump packs. It has been some time since I brought death from above. The day is not yet done, brother.
So, what now?
Eh? I'm just playing
What
Warhammer.
now? Yeah.
Both of them in LP, both of y'all still in. Same go up.
Reloading weapon.
Yeah, by like, what,
Archmagos, we have
should be
reached the
flashing
transmitter.
and keep reading,
Nope, I left.
if you left.
Here we go.
Yep.
You're not gonna, keep in touch with Rippy and make sure nothing happens in the live stream.
I cannot make the repairs myself. My work system is in your honor. Will that interfere with operation? Negative. Keep close proximity to the terminal while I work.